chemtrail updates for the Central Florida area. As you can see here, we're being sprayed. We're being sprayed by planes using some sort of unknown chemical that's pretending to be a contrail jet trail, and it's treason. It's an act of treason, as you can see. One line next to the other, and then another one going diagonally right there, another one right there. This one here is spreading. There's another one right there, and all the white wispy haze in between these, cross-angular streaks that are pretending to be contrails. There's one right there, in the midst of being created. Another one right here, right there, as you can see it. We are being sprayed as we speak, as in this Accuweather chemtrail forecast update on the NASA channel. We're getting sprayed right overhead, and it doesn't matter how much lithium and how much garbage you drop on me and my family. The power of God is going to protect my mind, my lungs, my body, and my family. And we're going to repeat our morning prayer here as they spray us and do this major act of treason against the Republic and all the citizens in it. God, anything that is not of your will, nor your creation, absolve it, remove it from my presence in the name of Christ, Yeshua, your Son, our Savior. And you'll see in time that all this white crap here will dissolve and disappear by the power of God and you as our witness. We are doing the Accuweather chemtrail forecast right here in Central Florida, and we're being sprayed. I don't know if you're being sprayed where you are, but it's very important to document when you have a blue sky and when you see them coming out, because you really don't know what's going to be happening with this kind of phenomenon the following day. So they could be seeding something in the air that's actually going to result in some sort of event the following day, and you might want to start getting ready now. Because as the flat earth heats up and they keep sending in these Hollywood hack lackeys to do the bidding of the, oh, look at that shadow of that one right there. There's a thin shadow right next to it. But as they send in more and more of these like wannabe parasites into the flat earth, trying to stop it from spreading, which is impossible because the earth is flat, and you painted globes. You have no photo of a globe. You have no video of a globe, full rotation. And I dare you to even put a camera up in space and get full globe doing just 1 day spin. You don't even have 1 day spin. So we could actually watch your real climate crisis, because the only climate crisis that's going on is the one they're engineering right here. And any crisis is a result of this kind of cloud engineering, because that white wispy stuff there that's linear here, okay, that's from an earlier pumped out spray that pretended to be a contrail. And as you can see, these are spreading. So the little disclaimer that YouTube's going to put up under this video in a caption, you could see that this phenomenon does not correspond with the definition of a contrail that YouTube is so intent on putting up on these Accuweather forecasts with chemtrails. We're going to walk out so we can get a different vantage point. These trees are blocking the vista of this disgusting spray, much like skyscrapers in New York City will block people from waking up and looking up. So it's important that if you're out in the desert, a clear vista on a mountaintop, spit that shit out of your lungs, because it's going to be coming down all day. And we got some people here saying, same here, I'm in the burbs outside Atlanta. That's right. The East Coast is apparently their bitch. I mean, it's hard for these things to linger in arid climates like Nevada and California, but they will do it out there. As you can see, that road just, I guess it just goes over the Earth's curve, right? Because it just keeps going. That's as far as the road goes. Sooner or later, both sides of this road are going to connect. But is that the end of the road, or is that as far as I can see? It's a little perspective riddle for a lot of people who seem to think that, if the Earth is flat, you should be able to see Europe from the coast of New York. Anyway, so we're looking back up here. You can see here, this is a trail that has spread. And you can see this one's thin right there, and it's spreading. And there's one right over here, and the whole thing is just a washout of some sort of chemical garbage. that they're placing in the breathing space, the air space that we all breathe from, between us and the sun. And they're not talking about it. And they've been doing it ever since I've been out here in Florida. And they try to do it out over our flat club in Las Vegas. But they have been doing it, incessantly. There's the guide plane, always that little Cessna. Now he's responding to air traffic control over there. He's responding saying, no, I don't see anything. Do you see anything weird out there? Anybody like looking up or whatever they're doing? But this little guide plane comes out to make sure that the unmarked white drone planes that are spraying all this garbage don't collide with other air traffic. And also to make sure and ensure that, as they're spraying at a certain altitude, commercial air traffic is either going to be above or below. It usually is below, which indicates this is military, because military operations take precedence over high altitudes, over commercial air traffic. So this is something to consider. As you can see there, it's kind of like, it looks like almost like the surf coming in on shore. You can see the linearity left over. That is not a contrail. That's a trail that's getting away with fooling the public. It's pretending to be a contrail. So spraying is out of control. They have to be drones. They have to be drones because I don't know anybody who wants to get into a plane and spray people on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve Day or Christmas Day. Because Christmas Day they were spraying, New Year's Eve Day, and New Year's Day they were spraying. They seem to have a very strange schedule, or a schedule that's very anti-Christ. So this stuff, there is a real long one. It's really gross right there, right along here. Well, and there's another one. I mean, you could just see how disgusting this is. What, everybody just suddenly got up into planes and started flying towards Cancun and Disney right over my house in the last hour? Because this is all in the last hour. Right, you could see it's spreading there. You can see the linearity right here, right there, all the way there. That's from a spray, so it's not a contrail. You can see over here through these trees. You don't believe it? There's a linearity from indicating a pump that sprayed out a chemical. Here, you got these crossing. A lot of tight traffic suddenly over my house, or Central Florida, in the last hour. The only thing I could think of is that there's planes taking advantage of you believing these are contrails. And they're using the contrail as a cover. And YouTube is assisting the propaganda to contain this and hide this operation of spraying chemicals on women, men, and children below, and plant life and animals. And we don't know what it is. Isn't it interesting? Science could be continuing without disclosing what it's invented. They don't have to disclose everything they've created or invented. And the only way they release science that they want you to know is through TV. So they don't talk about something on TV. You don't fucking know about it. There were known unknowns. There were unknown knowns. There was unknown unknowns, as Donald Rumsfeld said. You can see the linearity right there. Clouds aren't linear. But sprayed clouds from a pump and a nozzle off a plane that where the chemistry expands because it's an artificial cloud, you'll see tracings of a linear pattern. That's been the Accuweather forecast for Central Florida. We're keeping track of this, see if they're going to be making rain, which means they could have made rain over the California fires and put out all those fires, which means they probably lit those fires. So that's all I'm trying to get at. California, wake up, look up, rise up. They're burning down your houses. They're spraying you and your children. And they're making you all dumb. And they're basically controlling how much you remember from week to week. This has been the Accuweather forecast. If you want to support this channel, check out our descriptions. We've got some links to anti-chemtrail shirts on the Teespring store. We got one with the American flag where the white stripes are actually chemtrails. And it says treason or stop climate, because there's a climate crisis. What are you going to do? What's your solution? Stop climate? So the absurdity of it all, this is Math Powerland, anti-chemtrail comedian. And you know, a stand-up comic that stands up, and you'll know us by the fact that we stand up to chemtrails. And stop treading on me. So support us, support the movement, and trigger people with a shirt, because that's a fashion statement.